Welcome, 2Nerds and an Actor. I said it faster.
Mad R's.
Actor. Really great show. This is season 3, episode 18. So thank y'all. We took a little bit of a break because we had Comic-Con coming up and all that. So we're back. Don't sing it, France.
I'm not.
What, the Mace song?
No, he's going to sing the Hangover song.
But it's all good.
Back,
We're
welcome
back.
back.
Welcome back. Yeah, we should sing that one. So we do have a great show. It's exciting. We have a lot of news, actually. Some weird news, some fun news, some annoying news. Yeah. And then we're going to talk about Joker. So that's going to be a trip. And Watchmen, the first episode of Watchmen. But we're not going to spoil Watchmen because it hasn't even come out yet. So you guys are getting like preview of it because we got to see a screening. So
Yeah, because I didn't see it. So
no, we're not going to. But I wouldn't, even if we had all seen it, I wouldn't have spoiled that because it's not out yet.
I would have.
We signed an NDA.
Spoiler.
So we can't.
You really did sign an
We
NDA?
legit
Yes.
signed an NDA.
Yo, that laugh is like, y'all stupid.
Would have signed that shit. Arthur Fleck. Fuck out of here. Fuck out my face.
Okay, so I'm gonna just. Oh wait, I didn't say. I wanted to say that I'm here with my nerdy little monsters.
Oh.
Mike Santana.
Doc Slim. I'm a pocket monster.
Oh, and France Jerome. Okay. Oh no.
Boy.
Oh Lord.
Can't fap to that.
Nah.
I'm just.
It hurts my voice now to do that.
Wow. And I'm your host. I don't know. Who am I?
This is back to
All
back.
real monsters.
You can't just say that. You gotta name yourself.
What's the one?
Talk
the
like an
girl?
umbrella.
Yeah, the umbrella girl. What's her name again?
I forget.
The
actually.
umbrella
Forget.
girl.
She's striped like
Who
I
a
loved
cake.
her.
What played the white violin? That umbrella girl?
No, that seems like a lot of pressure and like anxiety. But okay, so we have some nerdy leaks that have happened in the past few weeks. Nerdy leaks, few weeks. And this I read actually. I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes because I wanted to know how it did.
I love how you said that.
What?
You discovered this through reading.
Well, you know, like you see everything on like social media. It's like, like I read on Rotten Tomatoes,
Real research.
real things.
Boots
that,
on the ground.
Yeah,
Nose to the pavement.
exactly, like a real journalist.
Oh, man.
But I saw that Joker made $93 million
It did.
in its first weekend, and it beat Venom
For October.
for the October
Yeah.
highest release or whatever. I'm like, is this a thing now? Everyone's gonna be like, you know what? October, that's the time to get the records.
Hey, I mean, I'm with it.
It's just funny to me.
Give me something to watch.
No, but it's like the only thing that's coming out. No, you're not like, you don't have competition. Except last year's release, right?
It's better for everyone.
In 2021, I think there are 6 Marvel projects coming out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So
Odds are.
All in October.
you know how there used to be a window. I think we're in a glass house now.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So it's just that, Venom was so recent
Right.
and boom, it's been toppled.
Well, I mean, we'll get into it. That's interesting.
For an R-rated movie to make that much, an R-rated comic book movie.
There we go.
That had a lot of contention before it actually opened for like the public.
Definitely.
Controversy.
And I have my theories as to why it had that controversy, but we'll get to that.
I mean, I think it's
later.
yeah, we'll get into it. Okay, so this is something I didn't know, but Mike maybe can give more. some people aren't involved in this big crossover
Oh, the C-Dub.
episode thing that's happening.
Yeah, like Michael Rosenbaum tweeted a while ago, but before we were able to record, he was tired. He got kind of tired of fans tweeting at him like, "Oh, are you gonna be in the crossover? Are you gonna be in the C-Dub crossover? Are you coming back?" Because they're bringing back Erica Durance and I forgot Tom Welling from Smallville. Are you coming back too? Are you coming? Hey, at Michael Rosenbaum at.
Who did he play?
He played Lex Luthor.
I was gonna say, is he Luthor?
Yeah, and I think
That
he
guy,
was
I
like
know
the
that.
second best Luthor. Period.
I never watched Smallville.
Well, he was worth watching. No lie.
Yeah, I remember him.
Him and his and Lionel Luthor. I'm forgetting
that actor. Oh my God, he's so good.
I'm forgetting the actor. Their dynamic the first couple of seasons was really good.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I mean, it was a slow ass burn. But
well, Smallville was out for like a million years.
It was. But it really gave enough those first couple of seasons where you were like, damn, I know why he's going to end up being how he is. John Glover is the name. Right. You know what's funny? Y'all be remembering names with Yaya in it, but we forget John Glover.
I know, the most regular names.
You know,
my bad. Yaya's my normal.
Like,
I'm just
Yaya
saying. It's,
Mateen and
you
then,
know what the fuck I'm saying?
What was his name? Chris. Like,
Damn it.
It's Mad John.
No, it's Lakeith.
It's Aaron.
No, I love Lakeith, but it's
You
Constance.
remember that one?
Joan Glover.
Yeah, stop it.
It's just pretty funny. Anyway,
It's true.
we always do that.
So he's not going to be in it.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, he in response he wrote this whole statement out explaining what it was like to get his DK invite, and apparently what happened was people from Warner Brothers or CW called him, and like in a rush, he said they sound rushed, and they were like, you gonna be in it or what? You
The
down?
people from
we
CW?
don't have any numbers for you right now.
Oh
But
my
are you gonna
God.
be
Chill.
So he was like,
This isn't the best invitation.
yeah,
here.
he was like, you're not going to tell me how much you're going to get paid. You're not going to tell me what days it is that you need me or for how long.
So they basically did it off of the tweets. Like, people want him. Maybe we should do something.
No. I think they thought he would be a layup if they were able to get the other characters, other actors in it. And if they really did approach an actor without any type of time frame or numbers for how much they were going to pay for his time,
Right.
that's super unprofessional.
I'm not signing on.
Right.
Like, can I get more info, please?
Yeah, and if that's what happened, I'm really crushed by that because he was probably the person I wanted to see most come back into that role.
Maybe he'll make a cameo, like after credits scene.
I don't know. He could be full of shit. And
He's
that
fooling
was,
you so.
Yeah, I'd love if he was full of shit, but I don't know.
He's like, yeah, I'm not coming back, and then he's like, it's all about him.
Psych, I
the
am
whole
Lex.
episode is about him, or whatever. It's gonna be a bunch of episodes,
I
right?
am the Lex Luthor, But all signs right now point to I don't think he's gonna be in it, and that really sucks.
Well, that's just like everyone trying to get all the Spider-Mans together. Toby, Tom. It's not happening.
Are you sure?
No.
Yo, we saw a guy at Comic-Con who looked exactly like a mashup between Toby and Tom.
Like in the face.
Like his face. It was just his face.
And Mr. Sinister was in the background somewhere? No.
It was so weird. I was like, why do you look like the both of them?
Yes.
Mutton chops.
Tony Maguire.
Tony Maguire. What did we say? We said Tommy. We're like,
Tommy Maguire.
Anyway, so that's sad, I guess.
Wait. Tommy Maguire Field.
Oh God, I don't like. It's very British.
Well, it's it's all three.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is something I think is hilarious. I want to say, but so Tyler Perry has the largest studio.
Why you?
What's funny about that?
She said it was hilarious.
I think it's so he's like the biggest studio out of like every studio, like Universal. he has the biggest studio. I'm not knocking that.
Wait, you didn't even finish explaining what you mean, like studio apartment?
No, like, what is it? Movie and TV studio.
Yeah.
Right? His...
Oh, so the lot is like...
Yeah, his physical studio is bigger than all the studios.
Then Disney, Paramount,
yeah,
combined.
and I'm like, yo, that's like a come up for Black people, right? Like, wow, a Black person owns the largest TV movie studio in America.
In Atlanta. Black Sweden.
But then I'm like, what the fuck for? You don't make action films. Like, what is this huge?
You don't know.
I was like, Boo Madea Halloween?
No.
What is happening in this
If you build it, they will come.
Who's coming?
First of all, Atlanta has been a hotbed for not shooting in Hollywood
Yeah.
for more than a decade.
Yeah, like,
so it is.
I think Orange is the New Black is there.
Yeah, a lot of Marvel
The Walking
stuff.
Dead happens there. Yeah, a lot of stuff happens
Wakanda was
there.
basically in
But
Atlanta.
this is Tyler Perry.
Deadass.
This is not...
Yeah, he's making a
Did
move.
you read the article and what he said in the statement? I really
What did
feel
he-
like you
what did
should
he
have read
say?
that.
It was just...
I feel like he
funny.
was addressing people that see him the way you're describing this situation. Like, yeah, it does seem odd. Like, really, the Madea guy has that?
I'm
But
not knocking it. I think it's amazing. I was
He
just
has
like, what?
low-key been building an entertainment empire here.
Yeah, no,
like
it's true.
like Nick Cannon, Mark Wahlberg, like these actors that low-key have built billion-dollar movie production stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He just went on a whole other level and bought a big-ass movie and TV making space primarily for people of color to have the space. And it's in Atlanta. There's so much about it that's super positive and awesome.
No, I never thought it was negative. I just thought it was hilarious.
But adding to what you're saying though, Mima told me today. She goes, Michael, yeah. She goes, you know the man that the Madea? I'm like, yes. She goes, he was on Colbert. I said, oh,
Yeah.
and she goes, and he said that Madea might want to come back.
What?
And I said, you sure he said that? She goes,
I thought
yes.
they hung
She
up
goes,
the dress.
yes. And I'm like, I don't know if Mima's being accurate here. But here's the thing. If the dude wanted to bring Madea back,
I mean,
now who the fuck gonna tell him no? He
no,
has his
no one's
own-
gonna tell him no. Boo Madea Halloween was like the #1 movie at that time
It's
for
the
like
original
2,
October
3
record.
years.
October.
Yeah,
Former
exactly.
October.
Did
Damn,
Joker
Venom.
beat out Madea? Did it?
Venom beat out Madea.
Venom beat out Madea?
Boo Venom
Amazing.
beat out Boo Madea.
Eddie Frock.
Listen, I'm not knocking it. It's just that Tyler Perry's stuff has always been a point of contention in Black communities for since its inception. But the idea of it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like, the come up. It's just like, are we going to film Black Panther there? Like,
I think that's what Ryan Coogler was waiting for. Like he was writing the story, waiting.
He's like, I got to get back to Tyler Perry's studio.
AKA Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Yeah. Tyler Perry.
Medea's Wakanda.
It was pretty powerful though. Medea's Wakanda. Now we have to like look in all the background shots to see if Medea's walking around.
Hello.
Hello. Hello forever.
That is the name of this episode.
Is it? I thought it was Eddie Frock. Anyway.
Either one.
Wait, now it threw me off. But yeah, if he was waiting for that wasn't what the fuck I was gonna say. Damn.
Sorry.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I was gonna say that. Tyler Perry posted on his social media him driving into the studio, into the lot, you know, and he was saying how he posted a picture of like them changing the highway signs to Tyler Perry Studios.
Whoa,
that's epic.
That's pretty cool. Like, damn, you changed the highway, making lanes.
Jeez,
that's pretty cool.
That's when you know you've made it. Like, you know how like Disney has its own zip code? That's not a joke. Disney World has its own zip code.
They do. I've never seen any of the Madea movies, by the way.
Oh, I have seen.
Not one.
I actually saw the play. You know, the Madea Goes to Jail.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that I didn't see the play like in person. You know, I saw the recording of the play.
You saw the bootleg of the. No.
Was
So
it
the official recording. I'm kidding.
I was like, was it a bootleg?
No, but was it though?
Yikes.
I don't remember how I
Don't worry.
watched
The
it.
statute of limitations is over.
Maybe
it's
it
fine.
was on TV. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't watch the movie. I watched the play of that one. It was actually funnier because, like, Tyler Perry actually has a really good singing voice. So at one point, he just randomly breaks out singing Luther Vandross. He's like, a chair is still a chair. And I was like, what?
Definitely bodied that part.
I was like, what's going on?
Oh, man.
Yeah, live theater. Anyways, congrats to Tyler Perry. I can't not say congrats because that's an amazing feat. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that's an amazing feat. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at this one. This has been Francis' dream for so long.
To quote the thing that you're about to say.
Okay.
Not like this.
I'm sorry.
Not like this.
Okay, let me give it a proper.
Ooh, switch it up.
I don't know how to switch it. Okay. They are making a Matrix sequel. This is real. This is happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it not a long time ago, but a while ago. But I was like, what? The Matrix 4 is happening.
Yes.
Yes. I just think it's funny because we would sit down in movie theaters.
But get to the other news, the 6 degrees separation news part.
Oh, yeah, I guess. So it's going to be starring Yaya Mateen III.
Second.
Second.
He played Black Manta.
He played Black Manta. And he was, he's been in so many things. He was in
Aquaman.
Us.
He was in Us.
Yeah.
He's in Watchmen.
He's in Watchmen.
The new series.
He's in Watchmen.
I still want to say that
He's busy.
never read a comic book before doing any of these things. And I think it's funny now that
Now he's in
does
all the
these-
comic book
all
things.
the comic book things.
Wow.
But
This goes to show you.
every time we would sit down in a movie theater and the trailers would begin, France would go, "The Matrix 4?" And I'd be like, "Will you stop it?
She's like, it's never gonna
It's
happen.
never gonna happen."
Hopefully, no. You
Yeah,
know,
I was like, I'm like, please not.
Read him and weep.
And then it legit is happening, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't.
what the fuck it's gonna
cannot.
be about?
No clue.
You know
Why
what? Then
the
I'm
fuck
waiting
it's
for
gonna be
Lord of the
about-
Rings 4. Okay.
Amazon got you.
Careful. Peter Jackson's a listener.
Amazon
Okay.
got you.
Amazon.
Oh yeah. Amazon spent $1 billion to have you.
Billion.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
don't worry, you're gonna get the Jeff Bezos fucking ring.
Yaya's playing the lead role. They got
But we don't know.
They
what
got
that
Carrie
means.
Ann Moss and Keanu Reeves back on deck.
What?
I think Keanu Reeves is his recent success culturally and box office wise
They were
over
like,
the last
you know what? We're gonna do
3
it,
years.
guys.
They was like, oh, all right, cool. We should definitely do this.
should
Also,
definitely.
both Wachowskis who transitioned into to female identified they're both not writing it, just one, and it's Lana. So Lana Wachowski is writing this by themselves.
Okay.
What?
And apparently they turned in a hell of a script, they said.
Wait. So, but what about the other Wachowski? They were like, never mind.
I mean,
Good.
they still churning out on projects, like TV projects and stuff like that, too. So,
Man,
Okay.
but not as a
So the
team. I don't know what to
Wachowskis
do.
are back. Keanu,
Keanu
Carrie, and Moss are back. Why haven't
How?
I heard about Morpheus being back?
Lawrence Fishburne.
don't know.
Oh,
But
that's a good question.
historically,
Send the pigeon to Lawrence Fishburne,
The king
and
of the
get him
Bowery.
on board.
Exactly.
do you know what the Bowery is, baby? What was
Oh
it?
my
I
goodness.
was like, what? That was terrible.
That
was-
was
I
really
was-
bad.
it
That was
confusing.
more my Lando than it was.
It was.
It
Yeah.
was more Lando.
That is.
That was like a mix between the two.
Damn it,
It's-
Neo,
ugh.
we're not here because of the past that lies before.
What you're,
And now you're like a 40s newscaster.
yeah, and what you're doing is that you're making the voice of Benjamin Percy in my mind less
Okay.
effective.
Yeah.
House way. That motherfucker's
Rod
less-
Swanson.
distilled ambrosia.
Oh. We got a lot of names for this episode.
Damn, we
Oh, we
dropping mad names of motherfuckers who don't know us. Let's do it.
Do it.
I mean, all in all, it'll be exciting, I think. I'm interested to know, like, where we're going to go from here, because I feel like the story
Yeah, I don't know what they about to
fizzled
do.
out in the end. So
Everybody dead.
Hugo Weaving in the movie.
Oh my God. He would probably refuse so hard. He'd be
Deadass,
like,
he probably
please leave
would.
me alone. There's
So
no
then,
way.
okay, you don't need him. Get
You
the
don't need
Red
him.
Skull guy.
Oh, the guy who everyone thought was him?
Yeah. Fuck it. Get him.
Yeah, we should get that guy.
Real Talk Variety said that the plot details are still mostly unknown.
Okay.
Fine.
But
it's the Matrix.
Mostly about how the role of Morpheus will be handled. Originally played by Lawrence Fishburne. Some say the role may be recast for a younger take.
What?
Is this about to be the Morpheus story?
Oh, this is a prequel?
Because he's the one who
Right,
he's the first.
There's no way it could be a prequel if Keanu's coming back.
Well, Keanu's kind of the one.
Oh,
So
that's true.
He
could
can
always
probably
right.
just like
he could keep being the one over and over.
And also, it's not even he doesn't age anyway.
It's true. Yeah, we wouldn't be confused.
Yeah. We'd be like, what? This was shot in the 20s?
Oh, okay. All right.
20s,
Thank you.
This is 20s Keanu?
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Yes. Of course.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is the biggest news.
Okay.
How big are the Matrix? Anyway, go ahead.
Oh my God. Tom is back.
Oh,
what Tom?
Boy.
Tom Holland. We talk about Tom Holland the most. Let's be honest.
Welcome to the Tom Holland podcast.
The Tom Holland podcast.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it.
Holland.
All the Toms.
Nope. Don't make me
We should
pull
have
up
a
the song.
segment with just all the Toms, and like you start with Tom Holland. Yeah. No. Okay. I'll put it to the Facebook group.
I'm gonna just play the diss track. I'm gonna play the diss track.
Oh.
I'm gonna just do it.
No. Well, anyways, the point is Tom is going to be Spider-Man once again with Sony and Marvel together, working together on this final story, I think. I don't think they're going to go on past the 3.
Motherfucker said final story.
They're not going to do like a Spider-Man 4. This isn't Thor.
Okay. I think the whole
Thor was like, we did 2 ones we're not proud of. Let's keep going.
You know that couple.
Proud of that first one.
You know that couple that everybody knows is wild toxic. But they keep getting back together.
Nate and Maddie.
And then exactly.
Oh God.
And then after like 5 breakups, you already know you're gonna see a 12th.
Yeah.
So Sony was all, oh no, that door is shut. Feige ain't got the time.
Exactly. They were like,
us.
no, we're not giving you 30%.
They went from that to welcome back.
And
welcome back.
Okay. By all accounts, I think who's the head of, is it Iger? Who's the head of fucking Disney?
Yeah, Bob Iger.
He said Tom reached out to both studios, both entities.
I know, I can't believe this.
Tom Holland himself.
He's a hero. He's a national treasure.
And he's not American. He's not.
I need a hero to save us.
Oh no!
National and
Oh
international
my
treasure.
God! Would y'all look at this photograph?
Not gonna stand here and wait.
All right.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna change and take my nickel back. Finish what I was saying.
That's great.
Tom called them together, and he gave them. I don't know what the pitch was, but the point is, they walked out of that room shaking hands, firm handshakes, and they back on board. And then he immediately went and posted that clip from Wolf of Wall Street. With Leo.
Oh, right.
I'm not
Wait,
fucking
Tom
leaving.
actually posted
Yes.
that? I thought someone else
What is
did.
the point of our DMs if you're not looking at where they're coming from?
That.
He posted it. I'm not fucking leaving. He
See?
posted it.
Listen, you can't look Tom in the eye and say no. He walked in that room and he's like, guys, stop fucking around.
He sold them a pen.
Exactly. He's like,
sold
this
him a
is
pen.
my red
You're
pen.
not fucking leaving.
And then they were like, you right.
You right. I think this is my theory. I think he went in there and dumped like 5 Santa sacks worth of
Santa sacks.
letters from kids about how much they love his Spider-Man.
They were all written from me.
From 6 then. You're 5 and then one.
And
from,
then my bag of
from
letters.
like hospitals and stuff like that, inspirational ones.
Totally.
And then I think he just dumped them all there, said no words, and he was like, "That's me."
Copy, cool.
Said that's me. I'm Spider-Man. I'm gonna swing wherever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And then
He's
they were like,
you're
"You right,
nothing without me, and
You
we're
right.
nothing not together."
Yeah. Or what he did was he played them a cut of audience reactions when Spider-Man swung back in an Endgame.
Yo.
And then
man.
that alone was like,
I know.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Oh my god.
I don't fucking like that.
That is
He
hilarious.
hit him with it.
All right, Tom. I was
No
like,
agent.
oh
No
my
agent.
God.
No agent.
No agent. He didn't, call his people to talk to other people's people. He walked up on there, no agent.
You think he showed up to the meeting in the suit?
Oh my god.
Did he backflip in the door on that rig
Stop
like he
it.
did?
Yeah. He came up from the window. Like,
He
didn't
came
use
in the window.
door. You know what I mean?
Glunk, glunk,
We're on
glunk.
the 50th floor, Tom. What are you
Exactly.
doing? I don't know which one of them sounds like that.
It's somebody. That's like an exec voice,
I don't know
Apparently,
where these
to
voices are
France,
coming.
it's a lot of that voice. So.
Oh, okay.
That was just facts.
Coming
I
at my
was
neck.
Not dissing anyone. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna move on to our no spoilers review here, and I'm excited
of
Joker and the first episode of Watchmen. So we'll do Watchmen first because there is
Yeah, because there's only
Joker
going to be a
is
non-spoiler version of that.
Exactly.
And so I will try to ask questions to get non-spoilerific responses from yous.
Right, and the ones we might be like, I'm not allowed.
Well,
to
I'm not
say.
going to look at you, Aisha, because you can't help but tell.
I can't. I
You
signed
can't.
an
Your
NDA.
eyes.
No, but what I
I'll
mean...
look at the floor.
You ask the question, you'll just go.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
gonna-
okay, cool.
I'm
like-
gonna just look straight ahead.
see right there. Okay, just don't clench
Okay.
your body.
I'm gonna try.
Play poker.
Don't try to give me straight and flat answers.
Don't look at my eyes.
Just don't. just react naturally.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
Evil laughter, mostly.
this is where the
I don't know
music
what to do with my
montage.
hands.
This, this right here is where there would be the montage of how to act naturally would be.
Dun, 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 dun.
It would be Aisha being like, is this right?
People are scary. All right.
Okay, so
Non-spoiler. Go.
non-spoiling. All I'm gonna say is
Oh God.
whatever you saw in the trailer, you are not fucking prepared.
Okay.
You are not prepared at all.
All right.
Yeah, nah.
What you think is going on could be happening, but it's also a bazillion much more than that.
Okay.
It blew my mind. I was sitting like, I will say this. There's a trigger warning for any person of color because there's an event in history that happens and it is shown very well and intensely. So if you know the history of the said thing that happens, and I'm not going to say because I signed paperwork, you should, I don't know, have a friend with you.
I feel like your NDA was like the unbreakable vow, and you just feel the tightening.
I don't want to say like exactly the thing because it's pretty
know.
integral to like the whole.
Oh, yeah, nah.
I'm
story.
blinking so aggressively
Yes.
at her right temple. She can't see me. do
just
that.
drilling.
I was just trying to stay
Let's say
regular.
if the what we can say is if the original Watchmen graphic novel took place in the 80s, it existed in the 80s. It was written in the 80s, and it was talking about the 80s.
Right.
And
The movie wasn't, but this has no ties to the movie, correct?
no, but the movie does
No,
the
yeah.
movie does a great job of harking back to an earlier time period at the advent of DK superheroes, and it was really honest to that time.
Okay.
This new one takes place in the present day, and it really takes place in the present day.
All right.
But it's sourced from a moment in history that is faithful as fuck to what happened
in real life, yeah.
and it's grounded. It's not even just grounded. That shit is grounded and expanded upon in a way that I
Yeah.
can't. It was loud. It was angry.
loud.
It was kind of
And
wonderful.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
It like shakes you, but like in the good way. You're like you're paying attention now, and you're in it. You're like you're on a roller coaster.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that it doesn't really connect movie wise, but and if you listen to our Comic-Con panel episode where we talked about the panel, the director, the director was really into the comics. So I think it's more connected to like the original feel of the comics and what happened in the actual comic or the graphic novel than the movie.
Yeah, he was like, "How can I pass this up?" Mike?
Yeah.
The question would be, all right. So if it's not necessarily tied to the movie. My question would be visually, like one of the things that the movie did well, and some people maybe think too well, was that it looked very much like a comic book movie. Like you could freeze frame a lot of the shots of Snyder, and they look like panels. Storyboard. It looked like panels from comic book in terms of the way the visuals were presented. My question is the show shot in a comic booky type way in that sense, or are we getting it? Because in the trailer, I know there's money on the screen. I know that HBO is going all out. But is the style? Is it a comic book style shot, show that we're looking at, or is it different? Is it more dynamic, or?
I think that it's more dynamic.
Okay.
And I think that if it was comic booky in any way, it is an elevated comic book kind of shots and things like that. Like maybe more modern graphic novel, you would think. But no, it's very much more grounded in like what feels like an alternate universe.
Okay.
But like real life. Does that make sense?
This is a network. It's a network level up. It's like they elevate. It gives me a lot of the same feelings I got in exciting moments of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And they figured out how to harness that with the culture of like leftovers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like they really tied what made Game of Thrones a worldwide show fun to watch, and the things that made Leftovers a cult classic.
Yeah. I think that there was another woman that I was speaking to who was like a press person, and she was kind of cool, but she was like, I really think that this is going to be able to fill the void of Game of Thrones. She's like, this is going to be the one that like fills that void. And I was like, wow.
I don't know if it's going to do that.
I was like, dang, is it going to be around that long?
Yeah, it's like there's so much we don't know. Yeah. We know how much there is in Game of Thrones, how big that world is.
We had
don't
at
know
least
how big
an
this
idea
world is.
where it go.
I could see why she would say that. I don't necessarily agree 100%.
It was pretty fucking exciting.
But it was like, you're going to, I think maybe what I agree with is that you're going to want to watch it every week. Like, well, that's what you do at Game of Thrones. Like,
it's the next big event on TV.
That's good because unlike with his Dark Materials, that series is done. Like, it's based on the books, it's done.
Right.
Can't really do a workplace pool on that one because...
Nah, you got to be real. That's extra nerdy.
No. But what I mean is,
no, but like, what's
you
gonna
have
happen?
all three books.
Who's gonna die?
You already kind of know.
Right. Whereas with this series, it's based in a universe that people might be familiar with, but it's doing something new with it.
All new, yeah.
I could see where this could fill that in that sense. The Game of Thrones,
the excitement, like the draw,
until the next Game of Thrones prequel series that are coming out because there's like 5 of them. Okay, one other question I would be the music. Does that play the score or the music song choices? Does that play a powerful role in here? Should I look forward to that, or is it more of a visual and acting based show?
Oh, no, the music will get you. It's always thematic, and that was a big part of the original series. The original graphic novels had songs strewn throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. This one it's a little less it's not as rapid fire as the other one. It's like a long, drawn out.
I would say it's much more subversive.
Facts.
Because like there's some moments where it like ties into what's happening. So like this guy's listening to the radio and you hear whatever song's playing there and you're like, what the, you know? But there's some sounds that happened and I was like, yo, is this the song from like blah, blah, blah? And it's like, it's just the melody that's playing. And you know it's from this other thing.
All right, so they put as much thought into the sound of the... Okay, that's
it's just like more subversive than, where the movie was like, and that song, and this song, and,
Okay. All right, sounds interesting.
And fucking Regina King.
Word.
I cannot.
She's the star of the series, right?
She really is.
I think so, yeah.
Of the main character.
She's like the main...
I would think so.
Yeah,
she's the lead.
The lead, okay.
Like you see the other people, but I think you follow her. Like she's the one you follow.
She's the Rick Grimes of the series, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think she would have killed Lori. like everybody else wanted him to. You know,
boy.
murder.
You couldn't kill Lori before Shane's daughter was born, okay?
Okay, all right.
Thanks.
For the baby.
Thanks.
Little
All right. Well, I was already, hyped for the show.
Yeah.
So seeing your reactions to it and hearing your breakdown of it now just gets me even more excited.
I just want to say.
And once you mentioned Leftovers, I know Christian.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, Christian.
Leftovers was mentioned so much at Comic-Con that we went back to try to finish the final season, but it's been so long since we've seen any of it. I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
I'm good.
I was like, "What? Did that happen?"
Yeah, I remember.
I'm like, "Where are we?" It's
I'm
kind
good.
of difficult. I might keep going.
I still remember.
It's an adventure.
I'm trying. I heard they said the ending of Leftovers was godlike.
Apparently, yeah. I guess.
Ooh, be careful with the
Right.
I know. We got to get there. I bet you they didn't guess it like Lost though. So.
I bet not.
I mean, I don't know. Book of Revelations
We'll
exists.
I'm done.
Agreed. All right, so now we're going to go into Joker. No
Yeah.
spoilers, so keep listening if you haven't seen it. We will not spoil anything
Jacques.
for you. I feel like it would be hard to spoil things if you weren't like, we're going to talk about the whole movie right now. But I don't know, first reactions? Let's go with France first, because he had like a violent reaction after this movie. He couldn't operate after the movie.
Good thing we're starting there. It's the light
Sorry.
stuff.
Joker.
The light stuff?
The light stuff
I'm gonna
about
say-
this feel good movie.
I was going to say, did we watch the same movie?
I was
Yes.
like, oh,
When
This
was
is-
the light
This is
stuff?
Air
The
Bud
light
5.
stuff.
One bad day.
this is one bad day.
I think I'm super honest. It was a fantastically made film. If an indie filmmaker had made this and it wasn't about Joker, it would have swept the Oscars.
Yeah, Sundance.
Like it does all the things that people like, that film heads, like cinema heads like.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It followed, and it didn't veer from the blueprint of Criterion Cinema. It just did all the things that Criterion Cinema does. It was cool, but for me, this was like the Manhattan Project. I thought it was a great movie, but I don't think it had to be made. I feel like the movie weaponized this character. Like, folks figured out the blueprint on how to make a good character now in the comic book world without doing any of the reading. I was like, so those of us who are familiar with the character are like, oh yeah, we're familiar with this. This makes sense. Folks who do not know crap about comic books or anything like that, who then get into this, are going to have a reaction to it that I don't think anyone's really ready for. I think it's going to hit people real hard. But that's just me being paranoid.
I mean, I think it did, because there was a lot of talk from like critics and other people who had seen it and were interviewing for like press and stuff. There was already talk about it being like, aren't you worried about this movie like instilling like inspiration in people who are, I don't want to say violent in nature, but like who, this might be like, oh yeah, I do want to shoot up this person or that person. Like that was the big
Yeah, I don't see that as
issue.
a reality.
I see where it's coming from, for sure. I see where, but people make those connections all
About
the time.
everything, hell yeah.
Right.
Video games, oh my god.
And like I can see like, but this one's like a little more like, oh, I can see how you say that, rather than, yeah, they played like Left 4 Dead and then wanted to like kill everyone. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a reach.
Right. But at the same time, I think it's not, I don't think it would do what people are afraid it would do.
I think,
Or like, we don't know everyone in the world though, so.
I think it's going to do something entirely different. But no, I don't think any of us know what that thing is.
I'll save what I think the movie is gonna do, and my theory is as to why there was so many warnings in the media about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was necessarily even tied to just disturbed individuals and violence. I think it was something
Right.
else. But that goes into spoiler territory, so I won't go into
Talk
it
about
now.
that later.
The most talked about thing from this movie was Joaquin Phoenix's
Oh
performance.
my God, yeah.
And fairly or unfairly, it is going to be compared to the next most recent beloved performance on the big screen.
Right.
Of the same character, not necessarily in the same universe or anything like that, but the Joker, Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Just for everyone to keep in mind, Heath Ledger posthumously won his Best Supporting Actor Oscar for playing the Joker. He was on screen for less than 20 minutes total in a movie that was almost 3 hours.
Yeah, that movie was long. Huh?
This movie with Joaquin Phoenix is 2 hours of him on screen.
It is him.
And he's in almost like every scene.
Like, just as an actor, that's some long freaking work days.
Yeah, my man was clocking in every day.
Yeah.
Or rather, punching in every day.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Should I have laughed differently?
No, because he did his homework and he was actually basing that laugh on people who had that type of illness.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
No, that was something that was said in press runs. I'm not spoiling anything from film. But he definitely did his homework in that area, and some criticized him for it and thought he was exploiting people with illnesses and things like that nature. And others were like, okay, no, he's just shedding light, being true to the material and the character. So
like that happens a lot. People make those choices.
It's going to be compared. I tried my best not to do that. So you asked for initial reactions. My initial reaction was Ledger's Joker is still, for me, the best portrayal on the big screen of that character. It's the most interesting to me. It was the most compelling to me. I left the theater wishing that I remembered all the lines so I could say them. That's not the type of effect that you get from Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
No.
The places that he takes the character in this movie are places that will probably make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But ultimately...
Like watching chewing gum.
Well, ultimately, that is part of...
Or Fleabag, I guess.
I was going to say that is part of the importance and the power of the character of the Joker.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was my initial reaction since you asked.
I totally agree with both of the things you both have said, actually. Because I think Joaquin did exactly what we thought he was going to do. He was going to just be ridiculous in the role. That's what he was going to do. He was going to be the Joker. And not even that. I think after I left, I was like, this was Arthur Fleck. Towards, other parts of it, you're like, I'm seeing more the Joker because you knew it was going to happen. But it was like, that's why you can't really compare it, I feel like, to Heath Ledger's Joker. They're like different people.
Nobody had this much time.
Yeah, and like you're developing, and this one was about him, with Heath Ledger. It was like he got to be a character in a whole world with other characters, and it's like you play differently as an actor in those roles. And I think he played perfectly in that place. Whereas this one really was Joaquin playing with Arthur Fleck. It was like, how do I be this man or this thing too? Because even then you were like, man, what is happening half the time? And I think he did a phenomenal job. I really do. I think like just, from the actor standpoint, me and my coworker, shout out to coworkers. When we go to see things, we always leave and we say, could I do that? And when you're like, man, I could not do that. That's when you're like, this person went in. Like we saw The Color Purple on Broadway with what's her name?
Cynthia Erivo.
People have a hard time with, but she was phenomenal on that. And I was like, I tell you what, can't do that shit. So like after this, we were like, yeah, no. And then we're like, maybe over time. I need some experience. But no, I think he did a great job. I think it wasn't so much about where, like you said, you leave with Heath Ledger's and you were like, you remember lines and you remember words. Like, I don't even think this movie wasn't even about words. It was about like motions and beats and like, so the words weren't, I don't think the words were so much important, whereas like the beats and the actions are what like hit you in the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we should give it a rating.
That was the most actoring actor stuff you've done in a while.
Well,
glad.
like what we were talking about, like this wasn't like a movie; it was a film.
Yeah.
And I remember I read something somewhere where Todd Phillips was like that he went to Joaquin and was like, I just want you to know, like, we're not making a supervillain movie. We're not making a comic book movie. We're just gonna make a movie, and then we're gonna say, yeah, it's like about the Joker.
Well, before we give it a rating, non-spoiler, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and just in light of the warnings that
Right.
people might have gotten the information that they going into this, their expectations might be skewed.
True.
Does the movie have moments of like really of darkness? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. So did it.
Right.
Although it did it with humor.
Right.
This movie does not do it with humor. What this movie does,
Hilariously Joker.
what this movie does with humor, however, is something that I have not seen in a movie in a long time. Like I said, there are many moments where you're going to be uncomfortable. Does this movie have extreme violence? I wouldn't say extreme violence, but it has moments of violence.
I think people were like gratuitous.
It peaks,
is a word
that's
it
all.
said.
Right.
It's a lot
It
of
has its
tension.
moments.
Right.
And yeah.
But they're meant to disturb you. But
They
I
are,
just
yeah.
want to be clear for folks.
Yeah.
You're not going in and seeing like a snuff film. It's not
Yeah, it's not hostile.
right. The way
Yeah,
that the
it's
media
true.
was making it seem though was like it
Yeah.
was. No.
I thought he was gonna be like shooting up like
Right.
with like automatic like or something.
Right.
The way they made it
So
seem.
I just want to clarify that it's rated R for a reason,
Yes.
for language, for
sure.
some. There are titties, but not the way you expect. Anyway, and there is violence, but it's more so just the tone of the film.
Yeah.
And
It makes you feel a certain way. And I think that's probably what people
Yeah.
came away with, and they didn't have the words.
yeah, you're gonna
to
feel
describe it.
uncomfortable, and for all intents and purposes, you should.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the point.
If you
So
don't,
I just
then-
wanted to clarify that before we give it a rating.
No, that was a good look.
Yeah. No, it's true.
The best look.
Yeah. And I think one of the things I really loved about it, that there was like, I'm not going to give spoilers, but there was like rumors about how it was like structured and like what you would know was true or not true. And I think that they kept to that. And I liked that actually a lot. I was worried that it was going to be like, oh man, he's like bullied. And then look, now he's the Joker, which would make the Joker very one note. He's anything but
These are all the notes.
one note.
Yeah,
Played
So
in Discord.
it's not one note.
Yeah. So I was happy that they didn't like make him just like, oh, he had that turning point. Boom.
Yeah, he stubbed his toe.
Exactly. So that was good. So rating.
What are we rating it out of?
Oh God.
That's
That's
part of your.
a-
Listen, that's
It's a
part
tough
of your
one.
yob.
Okay. Oh man, all I'm thinking about is like really terrible dark things.
Come on.
Then swing the other way.
Okay.
Come on.
How many Xanaxes?
Sponge baths?
Wow.
Let's go with sponge baths.
Sponge baths? No.
Sponge babs.
I don't know. How
Alright.
many therapist visits?
Oh my god.
I don't. This is a hard one. How many clown noses do you give it?
Okay.
Okay. I can do
that's
that.
good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Out of 10, how many clown noses out of 10?
Alright.
I'm giving this a solid 9. 9 clown noses out of 10.
I agree.
You take this to any film school and motherfuckers will tell you this shit hits. It's executed superbly.
I also give it a 9. 9 clown noses. Let's remember that Todd Phillips directed The Hangover. I just want to say that real quick.
I give it a 8.5.
Okay.
Really good movie.
The Romanian judge. No, I'm missing.
I thought it was usually the Russian judge, but anyway, yeah.
I'm keeping them out of my mouth right now.
It was a good movie. And I'm hoping to see more movies of this ilk of characters from comic books in the future.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And I really can't wait to get into the spoiler conversation.
Yo,
yeah, that's
hype
gonna
life.
be deep.
Really.
All right, so we're gonna take a break. Go, at this point, you can go to the bathroom, but like, you should put your hands on the sink and stare at yourself in the mirror.
Oh,
Yo,
my God.
And like, take a second,
take a
and then
beat.
come back. Yeah.
I'm shaking my head.
So we're gonna end on that and check out part 2, where we're gonna give you the spoiler of Joker and then go into some other coming soon. So catch out part 2.